do it live.
Universal Pictures invites you
What's the best sex you've ever had?
Britney Spears. No, I ain't kidding. She was rubbish.
to take everything you know about love
You have this kind of problem? Yeah, of course you did, you saucy minx.
and multiply it by 8.
Would you excuse me for 1 second? Okay, that's done.
Hugh Grant, Liam Neeson, Colin Firth, Laura Linney, Emma Thompson, Alan Rickman, Rowan Atkinson, Keira Knightley.
Christmas is the time to be with the people you love.
Yeah, I need a car.
This holiday season,
Does Natalie live here?
all you need
Hello.
is love, actually.
Are you singing carols?
I suppose I could.
Please, sir, please.
Good King Wenceslas looked out.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to this special holiday edition of the Cinematic Lounge. We're laughing because we just spent 20 minutes talking and I didn't turn the record button on.
You did not get the feeling that he was.
Oh, you know what, guys?
What?
We're not recording.
I forgot to put it in record.
You're shitting me, dude.
So we have to start all over?
I think we do.
It's okay.
I just realized that as I was doing all this. But
Take
that's
two.
good. That was a good practice. Plus, this was in the way. Take two. Hey, everybody. I got Chris in the house, and of course, Maria's here. Hi.
Hello.
Hey guys, how's it going?
And as you knew by the trailer, we're doing the movie Love Actually. But before we do that, of course, Maria has brought a beautiful drink. What is the drink, Maria?
It is a mistletoe mimosa. So it's cranberry juice and champagne. A little bit of cranberries on top for zhuzh and some rosemary.
I can say that they're delicious because we just drank it through the first show. Here we go. Switch these up. The first part of the show the rehearsal
There we
that we
go.
did. All right, so we're talking about 2003's Love Actually, directed by Richard Curtis
and written by him too.
and written by
Oh,
him.
was it written by him?
Yeah.
And starring Hugh Grant. You name it. Help me out.
Alan Rickman,
Liam
Neeson,
Emma
Thompson.
Keira
Lincoln,
Knightley.
Andrew Lincoln before he hit it big with
Walking Dead.
Keira Knightley. I think
Laura
this is one of
Linney.
her first
Yeah,
films.
she was whopping 17. when
17
she made
years
this
old.
movie.
Okay.
Really?
Yes,
Laura
yes.
Linney. Who played Laura
Laura
Linney's
Linney.
brother? Does anybody know?
No.
Okay. No. So, all right, Chris, why don't you give us a recap or a little?
Sure. Yeah. So basically, the story takes place in London, England. For the most part, there's one little kind of side story that takes place on the
Spain
continent.
or-
But essentially, what it is it's a story of a loose group of vignettes that are, everybody knows one another or is connected to another.
it's all
So
interconnected.
whether it's through a job or whether it's through friendship or relationship or whatever, but it's basically like a bunch of different vignettes that all take place around Christmas time, from 5 weeks before Christmas to Christmas, all mostly in London.
Lots of good music
Yeah.
and lots of
Soundtrack
horrible
is good.
human beings that populate
Yes.
this film.
Yes.
And I would like to discuss that later. But let's talk about the fun things. Because, by the way, I'm just going to say this flat out. I love this film. Now, I know it's full of despicable human beings, but there's something about this film. I think for me, it's Bill Nye, that the way it starts with
Oh,
that
yeah,
song
sure,
that he's doing, that he's the remake of whatever
Yeah.
that song
Yeah.
is, and he adds Christmas to it. He knows it's going to be crap, but he does that whole thing to get it number one on the charts and all that.
Well, yeah.
That thread to me is, I just love that. But
Yeah, that's my favorite part of the movie.
I mean, when I tell people this is one of my favorite holiday films, they can't believe it because most people hate. You don't like this film, do you?
I don't, but most people I know love this movie.
Really? That's interesting.
I always feel like I'm in the minority when I go, Love Actually? Really? And my big thing with Love Actually, I've always said this, is it's not that some of the vignettes are terrific. The Bill Nighy bit is absolutely fantastic. There are other ones that I find very sweet and very charming, but I think it's just too long. It's like 2 hours and 10 minutes long for like a romantic kind of
Is it that long?
comedy.
Is it that long? I didn't realize that.
Yeah, it's because there's like 8 storylines.
2 hours, 15 minutes.
Wow.
You know? So my point is if you were to cut at least 2, possibly 3, you would tighten this movie up.
The sprig you made goes right up my nose. It's amazing.
So
Good.
I just think if you could...
It's going down. What do I do?
You can take it out and throw it away. It's just for looks. It's for showing.
These are good. Do you eat the cranberries?
No, you can if you want. They're washed and fine. but-
All right, you mentioned
Yeah.
the stories. Okay.
Yes.
Everybody had seen, it's
Yeah.
well-known film.
Right.
Which story would you cut out?
Oh, first and foremost, the author and the housekeeper.
Oh wow.
I do not think it is. I just feel like I've seen it before where it's like, oh, we're saying the same thing in another language.
Okay, there's lots of cliches in this film.
Like that is
a big one.
I find that one to be just tiresome.
Yeah.
You know,
I would get rid of Laura Linney.
I would
Really?
too.
Yeah.
I would too.
I like
That-
Laura.
I agree with you on that one.
I like Laura Linney.
Uh-huh.
I like the concept behind it, but I just don't. I think it's. Just
I have to admit, I
so
agree.
at odds with all the other ones. Even the Alan Rickman one, which turns out to not be a love story.
Right.
Hers is just too.
But Rickman, at least there's
Incongruous.
pathos in that
Yeah.
story. You feel for her at the end of that, right? Like,
See, I feel for Laura Linney.
I don't.
I do.
actually do. I feel
Well, you
for
feel the
her.
frustration, but
I feel the frustration.
she should have ended
I
that
feel
alone.
for
Not
her.
ended. I'm not.
But I felt like
I didn't mean that.
if
I
we're
didn't
going to
mean
talk
ended.
about Love Actually, her Love Actually never actualized at all.
Yeah, but
She loves her.
it-
She
loves her
She loves her
brother.
brother. That is undeniable love for her brother.
Right, but I don't
In
know.
lieu of
I
everybody
just
else.
found it all just too incongruous with what everything else that was going on.
Well, that's the thing about this film. It feels like it's supposed to be happy and good, but there's like
Right.
you're saying, the Rickman and his wife, that is
Right.
horrible.
yeah,
Right.
it's brutal.
This you're talking about
Yeah.
her, Laura Linney. That's terrible. There's a lot of despicable fat jokes, and there's fat. If you drank every time they called somebody fat, you had a shot, you'd be hammered by the end of this film.
Yeah, it is funny how it feels like
And I don't understand where that comes. Is that him? Does he hate fat? Richard Curtis hate fat people?
I don't
Yeah,
know.
but they're not even fat. I mean, in
No,
the
that's it.
grand
That's the
scheme
thing.
of things, the woman.
Well, the
who
sister, the Portuguese sister, was chunky.
Okay.
The Dunkin' Donut girl.
But like the woman, his Hugh Grant's assistant was not,
Not at
fat
all,
at
not
all.
at all.
And even the agent, was it his agent? The singer's agent?
Yeah, his
he
manager.
He was rotund, but he's not, I'm not going to call him fat. Like,
Wasn't he in the Full Monty? That was one of the guys
yeah.
in the Full Monty.
No, I don't think so.
I think he was.
I don't know.
We'll look that up.
Maybe.
Okay.
All I know is this.
Have our
but he was
six,
obviously
people-
like in his 50s. So
Yeah.
you figure a guy in his 50s is going to be a little heavier
yeah,
than
like,
he was
I'm
in
like,
his
he
30s.
looked, his part, he
Yeah.
didn't look sloppy,
No, but that's what I
No.
mean. They called everybody ugly and fat.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
And,
So-
and there was the one guy, and I will say this, Colin.
With the big knob.
Yes, exactly that guy. And everybody keeps calling. He's like, you're hideous. You're ugly. You're just an ugly loser. With
Well,
a-
that's his one friend.
yeah, with
Yeah.
a terrible
The
personality.
one, yeah.
Yeah.
The
And
one
he's like-
friend who I didn't know was the same guy who was working the porn
Yes.
set, which blows my mind. How many times have I seen this film and I finally turn around and go, I think that's the guy who
Yeah.
runs the porn set. I
It's
had no
not-
idea.
yeah,
no
it's the
idea.
same guy.
No idea.
That's how they connect to everybody
Right.
else. That's how those two characters connect to everybody else. And the funny thing is I find that to be like the sweetest of all the stories. Like just like a sweet thing. I think
the
it's
two
No,
adult
they were the
film
nicest.
Yeah,
workers.
basically the
porn,
stand-ins.
the porn stand-ins.
The stand-ins.
were the nicest people
Yeah.
in the whole movie.
yeah, and they were like
100%.
sweet to one another, and they
Yeah.
were like
They were cute.
Yeah,
he
and he's
can-
like,
he jumps off that little.
Yeah.
What is it? Not a troll. What is he? A
hobbit.
Little hobbit
He
jumps off
plays
the
Bilbo in the Hobbit movies.
Little hobbit jumps off the
troll.
thing. Yeah, that's great. I love seeing hobbits hop off.
But yeah, he
But
gets
he
so
was-
excited that
Yes.
she likes him.
Exactly,
It's such
yeah.
a genuine
Yeah,
thing.
and it was just like he was being so polite, even
Right.
though their job is to be like
That was-
for the lighting for naked scenes, for naked sex scenes,
All right, so you want to get rid of the writer,
Yeah, that would be my number
okay.
one.
And I agree with
cut.
Maria. I think get rid of
Laura Linney?
Just get rid of that character. I couldn't.
I like Laura Linney though. so.
Everybody
I do too,
says
but-
that. I understand. Like she
But
was
it
great
is-
in
it
that,
is-
that
it is-
Ozark that she did later.
It
Ozark.
is very heartbreaking though, that scene.
Of course it is.
It's almost
I
like
mean, of
it
course
is.
it is,
It is
but
almost a little. Too
I wonder,
much.
but
That's what I mean.
here's what
It's
but I
like-
wonder how long she was walking around that office with that phone.
Yes.
That's not something new. That was happening all the time.
Oh, sure.
Why didn't someone just say to her, hey, you know what? You can't do that at the office. Put it on vibrate for God's sakes. I mean,
Well,
even
because
when
she's
Reitman
probably
was
very good at
talking
her
to
job.
okay.
But he was talking to her about, the guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, so go ahead, just tell him you love him, you want him, whatever. And as she's turning, the phone goes off and goes, and there's the cell phone. Like he even.
So everybody
Yeah.
knew. I know. I understand
Yeah.
that. I understand that. But
It depends on how good you are at your job. Like if you're really good at your job, people are willing to put up with some nonsense like that.
Okay, I understand.
I mean, I know I have. Like
Yeah.
I've had people who are like who were on my team and were really good, and they were always having to stop because their dog ate something and go to the vet. I was like, no problem, because I knew they were going to take care of everything when they got back from the vet.
Interesting.
So,
Well, you know, and the thing is that, yeah, if you get your job done, you get your job done. Half the time it's just her talking. She doesn't have to go to him
Right.
all the time. Half the time it's her just talking to him.
I
for
know,
a
but
few
it
minutes or
interrupts
whatever.
everything in her life. It's obviously it's holding her back because she was in love with that guy
Right.
forever, and and meanwhile she can't. The one time she's in there with him, the phone
Right.
rings. She can't even shut it off. Then is he going to die in that place? This is what I don't understand. Is he going to die in that place? Are they going to kill him if she doesn't go over there? Do you think that's what's going on? I mean, I don't know why I'm
No.
trying to break this down so much. I'd rather just get rid of it out of the movie, but
That's why I,
mean,
would like to get rid of it, but it's her
was
sense
me.
of responsibility.
not the
to
dog.
it.
not the dog.
I mean, she just has this
Yeah.
overblown sense of responsibility.
So we get rid of the writer, which I like it because I love that Portuguese person.
She's great,
You know,
but like
I'm half Portuguese. That's why it's like it hits a thing in me that I just love. Yeah, I'm half Portuguese. Half
So
Italian.
therefore, you keep the Portuguese
She was
storyline.
adorable.
in there.
I don't know if that actress does anything else. I know she's in the sequel of this. There's a 15-minute sequel. If you go to comicrelief.com, there's a 15-minute red-nosed sequel. Half these people come back 15 years later. It's amazing.
Really?
Yeah. Hugh Grant even does another stupid dance.
Oh,
he didn't want
don't
to be
even
the first.
talk.
Come on, wait a second.
No, the
Come
dance
on.
is awful.
No way. No
Cut
way.
the dance
no,
sequence.
No,
Gotta cut it.
You're wrong. Wrong.
No. How many times? Many times in a movie have we seen stuffy white guy dance to some like soul or
You know what I liked about
Motown
him?
classic?
He danced that the way I would dance that.
Well-
His hips could barely move.
So did this come out before or after Risky Business?
Before, after,
well
long
after.
Yeah.
And like there's
You think that's a risky business?
No, I just think that's what makes it a cliche.
Yeah.
Because
Risky
now
Business.
it's played too many times.
But you see, I look at it. There was
I
what
get
was
it.
that other
I
movie,
understand.
Pretty in Pink, with John Cryer.
And Ducky.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. He does a whole big thing.
They're all
Yeah.
these
I just
movies with
feel
people
like-
doing.
Ducky's a better dancer.
Yes, much better. I just feel like there's been a ton of movies where, like I said, white guy dancing to Motown hit or, soul / Motown hit. It's just like, I feel like it's been done. And I love Hugh Grant. I like him in this movie,
It
too.
has been done, but I was like, you know what? If I was prime minister and I moved into the prime minister's house for the first time, what would I do?
Yeah.
And maybe I would
Yeah,
dance
sure,
from room to
I
room.
get.
I don't know.
Especially, after he has this big, moment where he
Yeah.
puts the president in his place.
Deservedly. That's another despicable character.
Oh, yeah,
The
yeah,
U.S.
yeah.
president.
Billy
yes.
Bob. Billy Bob
Thornton.
Billy Bob Thornton or Bill Clinton. Thornton. Billy Bob Thornton. I don't know what they were doing there.
Billy Bob
I mean, I know
Clinton.
what they were doing there.
Yeah.
Billy Bob Clinton. All right, so we got we have the scenes you want to get rid of.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's rate the most despicable characters.
The
Okay,
characters.
yes, we've right.
Oh, Alan Rickman's
Yeah.
he's the villain. He is the worst of them all.
Not the secretary that's
She plays a
Honey potting him.
Yes, but she plays a part. But it's in the end, it's his decision.
ultimately it's his
It's his decision, and he could have shut it down earlier. He could have been like, "Hey, lady, I'm married.
Right.
If this isn't something you can deal with, we can transfer you, give you severance package."
But it
whatever."
didn't bother you that Emma Thompson went in and snuck through his jacket to sneak and see what the gift was. That was okay?
That's
I'm just asking the question.
That's
Comparatively-
it's
I'm
Christmas.
just asking the question. I'm just asking the question.
It's Christmas.
Okay.
He only gets her a scarf every year. All of a sudden, he has this little box. She looks
She
at
didn't know it
it.
was a box until she reached into his pocket to find the box.
she pulls it out. She opens
I
it
think
up.
I'm voting
And I'm-
her as my despicable one.
Oh, you're just being a pain now.
No,
You're
I'm not.
just
No,
being a
I'll tell you
pain.
why. I'll tell you why. It might be the rehearsal we did with all the alcohol, but secondly, it's her on the phone with Liam Neeson talking about his dead wife.
You
who's dead.
really have an
I am
issue with
harping
that.
on
I'm
that. When she
telling
called
you
him
that
sister,
is
you saying
British
it's British
humor.
humor. I don't see that. I don't see that. That's just someone
telling
being
you
a
it's
dick
British
to her
humor.
friend. Her
I-
friend.
I
I think
am-
if she was his wife's
And he
friend.
really got offended, didn't he?
No, he didn't.
No,
Okay.
but
Liam
I'm gonna.
Neeson-
I'm
Liam
gonna.
Neeson to this was a. Yeah.
Can I
And
throw
who
this?
talks to their kid like that? If you want to talk about despicable, how many F-bombs did he
Oh, he
drop
dropped
with
a
that
ton.
kid?
He was talking about
And
having
it's
sex
like-
in every room in the house to
Yeah.
his kid.
I'm going to kick you out so
Yeah.
I can have sex
No,
in
no,
every
no.
room.
It's a stepson.
Oh,
Stepfriend.
true.
His stepson makes it all okay now.
Yeah, you're right. My
You gotta
bad.
His
Stepson
stepson,
is a
whose
different-
mother is dead, and he's got
Okay,
custody
see
of.
how we're piling up despicable people with
Well,
this
I'm
thing?
gonna. Okay, first and foremost, though, here's why I think Emma Thompson was a little shitty in that scene. Pardon
you.
the French, right?
Okay.
It wasn't that the joke that she made about getting over the dead wife, right? It was the fact that she's like, "Look, I really got to go," and then she turns to her kid and talks to him about a lobster head.
Right.
Right,
She had,
I'm-
she had a paper mache.
She had to make a paper mache
Yeah,
lobster.
my point is that it's not like there was something serious going on, you know, that she couldn't have taken 5 minutes and talked to that guy.
Well, that's what I mean. It was just kind of like, okay, I don't want to hear this. I got things to do.
She's
You
like,
don't know how many times she's heard it. She's not a
Okay,
therapist.
don't back. You
She's
told me not to backstory Alan Rickman earlier. We're not going to see it, but earlier, don't backstory her now.
But what I'm saying is she
you're
wanted to get him off
backstorying
she
her.
wanted to get him off the phone.
Yeah.
She didn't want that is not a conversation she wanted to have at that point in time. And you're talking about Laura Linney not having she needed to not have that conversation. She needed not to keep picking up her brother.
Yeah.
Well, can Emma Thompson have that same thing?
With her best friend, who she might have been best friends with the wife for all I know. I don't know the backstory there with the wife. I don't know if she was friends with Liam Neeson or. I
don't know.
Okay. Okay. So I said her. She's my. I get it. Rickman, obviously. 'Cause
Yeah.
He cheated. He was about to cheat.
He cheated.
Is it cheating just to buy a necklace?
No, I looked it up. He did.
What do you mean he did?
According to the people who wrote the movie, yes.
I'm
he
pretty
did.
sure he
They
cheats.
did.
Yeah.
They
They did the deed.
Well, they
Yes.
should have showed that because I don't believe it then. If I didn't see it, it didn't happen.
And
That's what I'm
regardless,
saying.
she's loving that necklace. She's prancing around in it.
Yeah.
So
Can I throw this out here too?
Yeah.
It was a pretty ugly necklace.
That was
It
gross.
was.
It was really hideous.
Like, that's really
Like I was like,
gross.
that's it.
Yeah.
That's what you get.
Okay. What were
But
you
I
about to
will say this
Well,
though, there was
because
also kind of a scene. It was also a little bit sad in there too. It's like that whole it didn't end well for any of them because she's basically sitting there all by herself on Christmas. The
Oh, yeah,
secretary,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know,
Yeah.
and it's like, yeah, you got a pretty necklace out
I feel
of
a
it.
little bad
and,
for him.
you
He's
know.
got a family and.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
she was happy. She was smiling. She was admiring herself.
Oh,
and
yeah, sure.
She had gotten what she wanted, and she was looking forward to a year more of getting more. And she's got big plans.
Yeah, no,
you know?
that's true.
So
that's true.
she was perfectly happy and content.
So after that, though, they all kind of just like, for me, like after that, you know, you don't have anybody who's really like terrible. You have Stalker from the Walking
Andrew
Dead guy,
Lincoln,
Andrew
yeah.
Lincoln. Thank
Okay,
you
I don't
from
know
the
his name
Walking
in
Dead.
the
Yeah,
show.
you have him, and he's kind of a stalker.
Her husband's kind of a dick.
yeah.
You know, he goes, just give him a quid, $5 and get him the hell out of here. I
So
didn't
what?
like-
I mean, they're carolers. What was she supposed to do? He says, give him money.
I don't know. I just didn't like him. I'm just saying.
He's kind of a jerky guy.
Yeah, he was terrible. He was a terrible.
Well, I thought she was stupid. I thought Keira Knightley was just like clueless because the guy, the stalker, stalked her. I mean, he watched her every move. He was there to where Laura Linney at the wedding sat next to him and said, "Are you in love with him?" insinuating that he was in love with the groom, and he was like, "No." He was
Right,
in love
yeah.
with the bride. So I mean, it was very obvious. And then when she saw all the video of her, she was like, "It's all of me." Like
Yeah,
she didn't
well,
turn
she
to him and
figured it
go,
out.
"What the hell are you doing?"
yeah.
No, she was just like, "Oh, adulation, I love it."
Oh, I think you're right.
You know,
So is she a despicable character?
I think she's
Young. I think she's. I
don't
mean,
think she's
I don't know.
despicable.
I
I
don't know
think
if
she's
despicable, but yeah, that's not a good thing. Where like you need to basically be like, look, I'm married to your best friend, you know, and the whole thing with the cue cards.
yeah.
Oh,
Talk about cliche.
I know.
Oh
Like,
my god.
Well, and then it became even bigger after that. Now you see it everybody.
it's like a
Well,
big.
someone did a
joke, yeah.
music video with that.
Yeah.
Was it Bob Dylan? I don't
Bob
know who
Dylan did that.
Did he do the fur?
Yeah,
I don't know
like
who
in
did
the 60s. Yeah,
but,
that's the first time I remember seeing that that done.
Yeah. All right. So who else we got? Colin goes to the United States.
Oh,
He's
Just the dumbest.
awful.
What?
He is
Wow, I disagree.
so
I
awful.
disagree. That's a total joke character.
See,
come
I
on.
think that is like I think Colin and his whole storyline is simply comic relief.
Yeah.
for some
You
of the
think?
more serious.
And again, to
Heavy.
me, that's another storyline you could get rid of. Like Laura Linney, Colin, you could get rid of because you've got the singer for comic relief. I like
Yeah.
his storyline.
His
I
storyline's
think he's
great.
way more
That's great.
hilarious.
He's great. I don't disagree.
Yeah.
And
That guy.
I believe
Bill
they
Nighy.
could have, if
Bill Nighy.
got
Bob
rid of some
Nighy,
of that, they've gotten rid of, Colin just wanting to get laid by American women. They could have done more with Bill Nighy. Is that
I think
how you
it's
say his
Nighy.
name?
Well, how
Yeah.
could you do more with Bill Nighy? Bill Nighy was all over this thing.
Right.
Bill Nighy had the greatest,
Right.
putting the dick on those guys' faces and all
That was
he had
hilarious.
all the great stuff.
was
So
good.
I don't think we needed more of him. But the
I think we
Colin
don't need
thing,
Colin.
Once
I
again,
like the idea that he goes to Wisconsin. Like he's talking about going to America.
it's Milwaukee.
Milwaukee, he lands in Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
And he finds 4 of the most beautiful women ever.
I
Denise
think
Richards.
you don't
I
think
mean,
that could really? No, she wasn't in the bar, by the way. But
Yes, she was.
No, she was not. No, it was.
She was
it
the one who came up last.
She
Yeah.
came. She
They
came to
said
the airport.
Harriet's coming.
She came. No, Harriet was the woman who. It's
Shannon
Elizabeth. Shannon
Elizabeth.
Elizabeth was
Shannon
Harriet.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I got them
Yeah,
confused.
yeah, yeah.
I mean, it was
Come
just
on,
they're
get your hot
song.
chick straight there. Yes, you could throw that out, and it wouldn't have.
This
It
is
wouldn't
what
have. It wouldn't. Have,
This is what I'm saying. Like,
what?
if you
Which chunk could you take out that would have ruined the movie?
that would have ruined the film.
Which chunk would you have taken out?
The only chunks of the film that I think are necessary, like absolutely necessary, are the Emma Thompson, Alan Rickman,
Yeah, that's a good one.
the Prime Minister,
I like
and
that
Bill
one.
Nighy.
You know what? I'm going to agree.
Yeah.
Because I think you
What
have
about
to.
the porn guys? That was you didn't. The
I
porn,
thought those
Adult
guys,
film workers.
Yeah, the
adult film workers,
is that I can't say porn workers.
the adult movie, yeah,
The adult
okay,
filmmakers, workers.
workers. I love their storyline. It's very sweet, and I like it because it's
Yeah.
what's great about it is it's the most pure. Like they're the two
Yes,
nicest
they're
people
adorable.
of all
That's
of them.
the rom-com right there.
Yes, but
Right.
what it's funny
I
is
agree.
that they're in this, like, there's a scene, he's all like, warming up
Let
his
me warm up my
hands.
hands before
Well,
that.
the one
That
where
was
he's
cute.
under her legs.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that,
there's-
but like the idea is that they're in all these, ridiculously intimate and
Yeah.
sexual positions and everything, and they're still being unbelievably polite and sweet and nervous around one another, and he's so nervous with her, like when they are, fully clothed and in the world,
Right.
which is sweet, but no, it's not integral to the. None of them are really integral except I think those three,
I agree. But Bill Nighy's thing
because his is
definitely-
kind of
his
his kind of tracks the timeline of the whole thing.
no, it's really-
and kind
it's
of
really-
encapsulates
that was well
everything.
done.
And what's sweet about his is his is also wonderful in the end, where he's just like, I've come to the conclusion that you're the love of my life, in a very platonic kind of way.
Yeah.
But he's basically like, you're my best friend. You're the person I want to hang out with and be with, And that's kind of a really sweet, and it's great to see that in a movie that's kind of billed as a romantic comedy, to see a kind of a real, honest, platonic relationship. But that's loving.
Yeah, totally.
But the other thing is the little kids.
Oh, I want to bring.
The
I'm going to
son.
bring my chill moment. Okay, go ahead. What are you going to say? But what were you saying about the little kids?
That whole line, it's while it's kind of cute, it's also kind of ick. Like I get a little bit of an ick, like teaching a boy. I don't know, and her. Yeah, I don't know. Something about it was unsettling to me. I didn't like the way. I just didn't know if it was necessary.
You're
It
talking
was
about
cute.
the kid learning the drums.
Liam
because,
Neeson's kid,
yeah,
yeah.
because he's in love with that
Right.
girl Joanna from the United
America.
States,
Yeah.
America.
The only
Okay, but
positive
that was-
American in the whole movie, I might
Who's
add.
got a great voice.
Is she the only positive American? Who?
Well, Billy Bob Thornton.
No, he's-
His president's not very
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll
positive.
give you that one.
He's
not
like
too
a
good. Not too good.
womanizing bully.
Yeah, not too
You
good.
know?
My only chill moment in the movie was when she sings the Mariah Carey song. By the way, completely sexualized. I think her little to connect her and Mariah Carey is weird. Number one.
Like all I want for Christmas is you.
All
like
I- and she- all I want, she
11-year-old
points
singing
at
it.
him.
Yeah.
I gotta chill. I gotta admit it. I was like, okay, that I know you. Look at your face. You're killing me with that face. I don't understand. That's supposed to be the chill moment. He got what he. She looked right at him.
Yeah.
And then she
turned around and did it to the whole audience, which then you saw him deflate like,
That's
oh,
true.
she was just
That's
acting.
true. But I still got the chill. I'm sorry. I'm an easy mark. And then of course Liam Neeson bumps into Claudia Schiffer. I mean, that's what I mean. It's so. But I love this film. What am I supposed to do? I don't get it.
You know what? It's okay, Ralph, that you love something that is so obviously like
Well,
saccharine and
I'm
manipulative.
about to go on a show to talk about the movie The Counselor.
Nice.
To ask them what's wrong with me that I like this movie that nobody else likes. But this one is loved. There's no question. This one
a lot
still
of people
has.
really like this movie.
Lots of people love
I
this.
mean,
movie.
I like an ensemble movie, actually. Usually I like this kind of thing. I like it kind of captures my attention.
Like
with
Valentine's Day and New
following
Year's,
all
all
those
that, yeah,
things,
yeah.
following them all around and whatever. I do usually really like it. And I like this. I mean, first time I watched it was with you when we were dating because you were like,
I don't remember
this is
that.
my favorite Christmas movie. Will you
I
watch it with
said
me?
this one or Christmas Vacation?
This one you
is
said
number-
I watch this every Christmas and you brought it over. We watched it together. So, you know, so I have a little soft spot for it.
Oh, and I have a big knob. No, I don't. I don't have a big knob. Right? No, of course not.
We're not going to talk about that.
I wish I had a big knob, but I don't. Shake my. So
And like knowing the backstory
We
of
have
Emma,
been drinking. That's what it
there's
comes
been a
down
lot
to.
of.
you know, of Emma
what happens
Thompson actually in real life having that happen to
Oh
her.
yeah,
in
I
real
mean that's
life,
the
I
other.
was
That's
like,
the other.
Yeah.
And I
And
read
Liam
a-
Neeson lost his. I don't know if this is after.
I think it's
Richardson?
before.
Oh, it is. Are you sure?
I'm not going to bet like
Yeah.
a lot of money on it, but I'll put $20 on it
that she died after this movie.
after this
Yeah.
movie.
I'm gonna look that
His
up.
Emma Thompson.
Now, is this a real bet or are we
No,
just
no, no, I
okay.
wouldn't. It's Christmas. Why
Ex-husband
would I do
did.
that?
This was that happened before this movie, and so I read an article where she talked about when she's crying in the room. It really is her remembering how she felt when.
You mean in that scene where she's? Oh my god!
And
Yeah.
that scene is just always
I hate
heartbreaking to me.
actors that they can do that. They bring that
It's
stuff back
so
up.
heart wrenching to
Yeah.
me
Well, I mean,
because
yeah.
I'm like she doesn't deserve it. I'm like she's a good mom. She's a good wife. She's a good
that's just.
person.
There had to be something wrong, though, right?
No,
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
with him, yeah,
Oh.
he's
What?
growing old and not feeling comfortable with
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. It's not-
Yeah,
it's
I
not
mean, there's
easy.
a lot of that going on there.
Yeah.
But that's all him. Nothing to do with her.
You're right. 2009.
And so this came out in 2003. So she
2003,
was still
wow.
Natasha was still alive.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I mean, I like Liam Neeson. Like the funny thing is the very few. I like all of the actors in this film. In fact, you know, but like I said, like for
Even
me,
the guy who played Colin.
yeah, I think he's funny. I mean,
I mean, he played his part.
yeah, you know, I mean,
As written.
yeah, I mean, I just think it's just kind of funny because, like I said, you know, Eurotrash Dave, and like I don't think that he's wrong, like in that regard. I mean, obviously it's super crazy, you know, that he runs into January Jones and
Oh, you think that's
Elisha
super
Cuthbert,
crazy?
yeah.
Yeah,
And
I
then
think
they
all
all
that was
bring him
crazy.
home.
Yeah, and they,
then,
well,
you know,
they had no pajamas. They had only
Yeah,
one bed.
yeah.
What else is he gonna do? I don't understand your problem.
those three ladies are not they're not hanging out in that bar,
Right.
You know?
Well, that okay. Do I have to mention that that's the absurdity of it all?
Well, yes, I know.
Okay,
but I
thank you.
know.
I mean, come on.
That-
Yeah,
Right.
That's what's funny about
Okay.
it.
And that's why I was like, they don't even really need that.
I did find the one joke in that whole bit though that really made me laugh when he's like, "Thank the Lord," and she's like, "And he's a Christian."
That's right. Or she did say that. That is
That
cute.
was
That was
funny.
cute.
That was
There's-
really
I'm
good.
telling you,
That
there
was
is
a good
stuff in
line.
here that.
Oh, there's a lot of
Yeah,
great
and
laugh
Rowan
lines.
Atkinson. Okay,
Oh,
have
my
you heard the backstory about this? The
No.
fact that he shows up at the airport in one
Yeah.
iteration of this script, he was supposed to be like this guardian angel that protects
Mr.
these
Bean?
people. Mr. Bean.
Yeah, yeah.
That's why he's taken so long to wrap up that thing, so that the wife can supposedly come over and catch him before that happens. That's why he ends up at the airport.
Right.
Supposedly he's like this guardian angel to help these people.
Right.
And that's, you know, they trimmed it out and it didn't work out that way. But
okay.
that's kind of how that thing.
Right.
Well, why did he show up at the airport? Why did he help him? You know, there was no reason for that
Yeah.
to happen, except that it was something written
So yeah,
early.
So you see, I would have I would have been very happy with like losing, you know, the Colin Firth section and having more Rowan Atkinson.
I love I don't know why. I love the Colin Firth stuff.
I like Colin Firth a lot. I
because
think
of
he's
her.
great.
I thought she
And
rounded
she's
that out.
fantastic too.
Yeah.
I wish they'd given them better stuff
Yeah.
to work
In the
with.
sequel, they get about 8 kids. And she says, another one's on the way. So you should check that sequel out. It's pretty funny.
That's funny.
It's not funny, but it's interesting to see her.
Sure, yeah.
Because the Joanna comes back as an adult. She's dating that boy now in New York City or something. Yeah. Joanna,
The
the one,
singer.
the singer.
Oh, right,
the
right,
singer.
the singer
The little
girl,
singer.
yeah.
What else? What else can we talked about all the fat jokes that are in this film.
Oh yeah,
tons
yeah.
and tons and
I
tons.
did like the idea that, but you know, okay. So here's another thing this is one element that I really enjoyed, and I still enjoy the relationship between Hugh Grant and the and his assistant or whatever she was, the
Yeah.
catering manager or whatever she was
Yeah.
at 10 Downing Street. I really like that, but it is funny now. I guess you kind of watch it, you're like, he's obviously like 20 years older than her. And even later, Emma Thompson even says, "Oh, watch out, 20 years ago, you would have been just his type," you
Right.
know, or something like, you know, something like
Yeah.
that. And you're just like, you know, it's,
I never saw
kind
that.
of it's
It
kind of
never bothered me.
creepy.
It never bothered
It's
me.
a little.
I did love the scene where he goes down the apartment,
And
you
it's
know,
not
the
the
dodgy
age.
end of the
It's-
dodgy end
yeah.
of wherever they
Oh,
were.
that was great. And
Yeah.
then like his
security guard has a deep
like
voice.
it's like this baritone
and
voice.
it's all that he just looks back and they don't make a thing out of it. But it's a thing.
Yeah, it's funny.
Yeah, there's little bits of that, but God, he really. I just think he doesn't like heavy people or something. I don't understand this obsession with calling everybody fat. I don't know what his other movies are. I mean, I saw Four Weddings and a Funeral, but I don't remember any of the stuff that goes on in there. So, I mean, it's just.
They do talk about the guy that has the funeral about him being fat.
Oh, really?
I seem to remember that. Like they say something about like, because he was a big guy in that film. He was like a bigger guy, and you know he just drops dead one night or whatever, and I forget. I seem to remember like his partner making comment about him at his funeral about like him having a big heart or something like that. I forget.
Okay. It's the thing. It's a thing in his movies, I guess. I don't know.
I don't know.
The music is great.
The music is great.
Yeah.
Okay,
Got
so
a good soundtrack.
real quick before we finish, did we already rate the despicable characters? We did.
I think we just kind of said Alan Rickman's at the top, and then you know.
I said his wife was. Right
Yes,
there,
you
too.
said his
Maybe
wife
I'm
was.
wrong about that.
Stalker guy.
Definitely.
Stalker guy's weird.
Yeah.
And then, but then I think you know you get a little bit less and less as you go down. You know.
All right, but quintessential holiday film. Oh my God! Look at you both with the deep breath. What is
20
that?
years on, I mean, it's definitely a Christmas movie. Can't say that it isn't.
Yeah.
It's definitely romantic. It's definitely carved itself a place. But like, I literally hadn't seen this movie in 10 years, probably, since before rewatching it for this.
That's amazing.
Like, it just was one of those ones where I was like,
For me, every time I see Bill Nighy do the thing,
oh, he's great.
it
He's
just
great.
carries me through the whole film.
He is great. Like,
know.
he's
Yeah, he's
fantastic.
good.
He's a great actor.
But I go to the bathroom when Linny's phone is ringing. I cannot stand.
Oh, it's
especially when
brutal.
she brings the guy up in her bedroom.
Oh, I know,
because
and they're
I
like-
can't stand it. And
they're actually like hooking up, and
Yeah.
then like
Yeah.
she's like,
So does it make you angry or does it make you frustrated?
Frustrated. Not for him.
For her.
For
for
her.
her, yeah,
Right.
like it's
Like, I don't know
it is
why you would
heartbreaking.
still-
She's finally
Yeah.
getting everything she's been,
Right.
you know,
what she
wanting for the
wants,
last
yeah.
2 years, 7 months, and however many
Yeah.
days. Right? It's finally happening, and that guy seems like what's
seems nice.
He seems like a genuinely nice guy.
Yeah.
It's not like he's like,
Great
oh,
abs.
I'm going to take advantage of her tonight because
Yeah.
I want to get laid. You know, and it's just it's heartbreaking because she's so close to getting what she wants, and then her love / obligation to her brother she can't break away from
I can't
it.
stand that.
It's tough. It's hard to watch.
And for me, I hate to admit this, but the montage scenes at the beginning and the end in the airport.
Oh, they're good. Yeah.
Where I know they captured that. That was guerrilla style. That wasn't planned. That wasn't. Those people didn't know they were being filmed. Obviously, they got
Yeah.
They
care
got
of
releases.
afterwards.
Yeah.
But the idea that his line about someone made a comment about his line about in 9/11 they didn't call about hate, they called about love. They felt that was come on. But to me that worked, and in the way they used it at the beginning and the end, it just kind of it smushed it all together for me. That's why I love this film. It just get at that thing, and we've all been in these situations. That Rickman was in and his wife was in, and I'm not saying I was at a porn set or anything like that.
No, but
I mean, okay, people have been in situations where things like that happen, and to see her heartbreak was heartbreaking.
Yeah,
It was
it's really
brutal.
it's
in a holiday film. In a holiday film, that you're supposed to.
Right.
So, what would you rate this one out of 5? We'll rate them on a holiday film scale. We don't not as a. I mean, I guess okay, we can rate it. Whatever. What are you saying, Maria?
I'm gonna give it a 3.5. Because I have this little sweet spot now for it because
You only put a 3 because
dating.
okay. Wow. Okay.
hey, that's what the 0.5 is for.
Yeah, that's right.
The 0.5. That's what it
Right.
is.
I'm giving it a 3.
Okay.
I'm giving it a 3. It like I said, rewatching it, I'm like there are a lot of things I do like about it, and I do think it's sweet in a lot of ways.
All right, I'm gonna say 4. And I would go 4.5 because of what you just said, and I didn't realize it was that important to you that I brought it. I didn't know. I forgot. I thought I would have brought Christmas Vacation. I mean, I did take you to go see Bill and Ted. I mean, you have seen a lot of strange films with me. That's for sure.
No, the Christmas Vacation I'd already seen.
Okay.
So there was no.
You had
no
never
need
seen
to.
this one before I brought it?
No.
Oh, that's amazing.
And, well, you know.
You have an entire series of podcasts about the movies she
Not
hasn't seen.
I know, but this for
Each
some
one
reason
shocks you
yeah,
more
it
than
does.
the
It
other.
really does. It really does. We're
there
about
was
to
that
do
one with-
Goodbye Girl.
Yeah.
Oh, you're going to enjoy that one.
Look at it. He's predicting.
Well, let me rephrase. I'm going to say this. I remember seeing that back in the VHS days, probably in college, and I remember enjoying it.
I loved it, but that's my boy Richard Dreyfuss.
Yeah.
Before he went crazy. But all right, well,
He's pretty
you got
old.
Something?
No.
Oh, let's toast.
Cheers.
Yeah, this was and great job
Happy
on
holidays.
the mistletoe.
Mistletoe
Yeah, it was
mimosa.
delicious.